goes, how life should go, and the things that I as an individual can do to my own life and my own journey. And in this class, definitely why I know what I'm talking about, because every single thing that I do discuss in every of my classes always from personal experience. They are traceable, you can track them, and definitely find results. So now I'm gonna start with one liner, and it's that school matters. And when I was thinking about this, some people will be like, school is a scam, and that's a very popular statement. Oh, school is a scam. Go to school, just go to school for the sake of going to school. There's nothing good that comes out of going to school. But that is something that I am not for. That is not I'm not for that. School matters because in school you meet people. In school you learn so many lessons. There's so many things that you never think make sense until you go to school. So now we're gonna go right into my school, not the end. You should understand that even your primary school when those teachers were doing gra gra was not it's not just for of them. So many things that you learned were things that you became because of that experience. Now education shapes your thinking. The first thing that I'm sure you can agree, is the fact that when you went to school, either primary, either uh, secondary, university, like when I say school, just know that I'm talking about all of those um, stuff. Please, Esther, help me mute. My house right now. So yeah, just know that I'm talking about those three branches. I talk about school. So school shapes your thinking, shapes your discipline, and school shapes your exposure and your structure. Now, your thing sense that learn to work with people, learn to work with people who are older than you and people who are within your range. Now, working with people who are older than you, ever been class captain, maybe held or maybe led a debate club. We had those clubs in secondary school, right? If you're a part of any club, let me know in the chat which club you were a part of. I was a part of the big club. I was a part of press club because I switched to clubs because they were using juice to pursue my life. So and I moved to a club that had the better food, which was press club. And it was nice. So you'll learn to work with people who are older than you because if you're a part of the committee, then you work with your teachers, you work with other students. And then obviously, depending on the type of school you went to, you definitely have older classmates as well. So that really helps to shape how you think. And it helps with discipline because you wake up by what? You wake up by 5, you wake up by 6. Depending on how much help you have to assist you to get to school early, you wake up early, get to school early. You're up. You know you must not go late to school. You know that there's gonna be one wicked prefect at the entrance waiting to discipline and ask you to wash the toilet. And obviously, you all know rules. You don't want the discipline. You know that if you want to get something done, you have to wake up early to do it. Okay? Then exposure. The clubs we had in school. The what's the name of this weed book? There's a you go out, you pick different plants and put it in the book so that you can have knowledge you learned. You were exposed to something. And the excursions, you saw life, things that your parents probably didn't take you, things that you couldn't experience by yourself. You experienced it collectively with classmates. So school teaches you all of these things. And delayed gratification is one thing that I also like about school. You get to see the results of your hard work after a period of time, after you must have, done your exams, read, you get to see results at the end of a particular thing. That gives you, even with as little as going to school with your lunchbox, you know that, oh, you have your lunch by lunch break. And for some of us that grew up having maybe a little meal to take, you have to cut that meal into like 3 parts. So you can eat one in the morning, or if you eat at home, not too late to go to eat at home. Go to school, eat another one, You learn to just let things wait their time before you then enjoy it. And then it makes sense because you feel like isn't it at the right time that works for you. That's delayed gratification. That's one of my. And the truth is, school prepares you for exams, qualifications, and all that. And while school does all of these beautiful, life demands more than it. Life demands more than logic. Life demands more than you have to wake up early. Life demands more than you waking up. It's beyond all that experience. And I'm sure when you stepped out of school, especially secondary, something in your head just rings and says, "Ga ga ga ga." This is not the real life. And when you go out, you then understand that there's so much more. So this session is not about telling you that bad education is great. Get as educated as you have, but you need to understand that you need to complete that education, and that education is completed outside. And there's this thing that our parents used to say, unrelated though, say in Yoruba, they say, don't learn something at home, outside. So you realize that school life is a mixture of the things you learn inside and then outside, which leads me to the school curriculum. So now you see the things that school teach you and the things that the outside world teach you. So the first one on my list, subjects. We have different subjects, variety, biology, physics, chemistry, maths, English, and all sorts. So the mix of subjects helps to open your mind to different possibilities. You can be anything. Like school teaches you for anything. Science class, arts class, and commercial class. I think those are the two subjects that we had. Even if you're in arts, oh, you know that, oh, okay, you can have a friend in science class. That mixing helps you feel like, oh, even if tomorrow I want to do something that has a little bit of science, I know who to ask questions. But the fact that even from SS1 you have already been gives you a sense of direction, like, oh, you want to go to, so you're already on your path to that journey. Now, grades. The school grading system, I'll always say, favors brilliance, favors being able to learn, you being able to write just as it was said in your. But it doesn't exactly favor intelligence. It doesn't favor creativity. And someone says they're hearing an echo. I don't know where that is coming from. Please confirm so I know if it's just one person or every other person. But moving on, school does not favor intelligence, creativity, and and your character. I mean, your attitude towards certain things doesn't favor any of that, but it favors as favors, so and etc. And soft skills are one of the major selling skills right now, and even in years to come, if you check estimations, it's people are hiring people based on things they can do now. That's another reason why teamwork is one of the things that most companies will look out for when they want to hire people. If you can't work with a group of people, if you can't work with mama 60 years old and still get the job done, there's a problem somewhere because you need to be able to work with different categories of to get your job done. Then certificates. I love certifications. I love having like a reward for something that I have done. And this is one thing that school gives you. School gives you certificate, gives you like, I mean, that's like kind of like and you get it at the end of a term or at the end of a session. Depends on how it's done. Then competition, survival of the fittest, or first to get the best seat, first to get teachers' attention, who gets the best grade. Oh, I was first last year. Bolanle talked me up this term. Next time I will not grieve for her. I like that. Know that you have to fight for certain things. School taught you that. Self-defense. Oh my goodness. I learned how to fight for my life in country school because teachers bullied me. Some students tried it and I mentioned their first time was their last time. So I learned to defend myself. I learned to stand for myself. I learned to not be weak. I learned to, and not just not be weak to people as that, but because I didn't want to. So it was like from my core. I really wanted that and I really got that. So you learn that, oh, all of these things you get to learn them from school and friendships. Even though you might have had 100 classmates, I'm pretty sure that you're probably in communication with at least one of them. And you probably got to the number one because of how life had been. up. So the numbers came down as you moved up, which is absolutely normal. But you see that group, that community that you had back then is priceless, because whenever you think of your moments, times that you have had, definitely always feel nostalgic, like you want to go back. If you've ever felt like, oh, I wish I was in school right now, I wish I was younger right now, let me know, because that is such a common feeling that we all go through. Now, the real question is that all that you need? Because while all of these things are amazing, while they are great, to know, to have, is that all you truly need? Because, like I said, these experiences are good, but when you step outside, you realize that it's war. You're gonna fight. So now let's move to much more things that would help us discover or not. Now, the missing curriculum, while the school curriculum exists, missing one, the one they're not telling us about, the one that nobody is talking about, is number one, school will teach you how to build your life. School will not teach you how to build your life. Now, when I was 18, no, not 18. I put 16 to 18 in my slide because it started between that age range. But when I was about 18, I started having questions about purpose, vision, or what to do, what not to do in my life, where do I start from? And when I finished secondary school, the first thing that I did, because I hate being bored. I don't think I've ever been a sit down and not do kind of woman. I've always been, oh, I want to do this thing. I want to try this thing. When I was in my early teenage years, my mother and father stopped me from repairing television and repairing bulb, repairing things in the house, because they said, oh, it's not a woman's thing to do. Why would you be putting yourself at risk? And then later I was like, oh, maybe I should go and do soldier training, that people do say I have an athletic body and it would be great for me to, to see what I can do. Like I was always very explorative. I wanted to try different. And it started from the little things like that, trying to see what will happen if I make this semo like this. Will it have lumps or will it not have lumps? Sometimes it has lumps. But then when I try it and know what to make the semo to have lumps, I will know what will not make it have lumps next time. That's the kind of person I used to be. And I feel like I still am that kind of person, but I've sort of moved to other areas of my life. And that's like one of the things to me. The fact that I can be really inquisitive, ask myself questions, go find the answers of myself before I then go to anybody and be like, oh, I figured this thing out. Like, I've already done it myself. Already done it because I. Can you still hear me? Let me know, please.
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I can. All right, there was a power outage, so I'll just continue with my video off. It's dark. So, moving the level of inquisitiveness was one of the things that really helped me push forward, and that's another thing that I feel like would help you push if you're between the ages of 18, 19, 20. You'll probably still be having questions. I mean, either about your purpose entirely, or if you're actually sure of the journey that you're right now. Maybe you started a business, or you started taking a course, you're trying to learn something to build a skill. You will still be having these questions like, am I on the right path? Do I know what I'm doing? School wouldn't, help you build all of these things. You have to figure them out yourself. And you figure them out by trying. That's the number one way you figure it out, by trying and by being consistent. Let your consistency tell you if what you're doing is wrong or not. Then the second thing is how to steward income. How do you earn money? Mommy and daddy will stop giving you money at some point, and then you realize that I need more money. If I want to buy this course, I need to have money. If I want to do, I need to have money. Realize that it's beyond nobody. Like you're not paying your school fee through mommy's pocket anymore. You're something for yourself. Like all these things start to hit you way hard. especially if you have gotten to that part of your life where you're now paying your school fees by yourself. Then the third one is how to manage emotions. What? Okay, so now I put here, what was your first heartbreak or friendship split like? Because that was my own very first experience of heartbreak. It was when a friend did me corner, and it really pained me. I didn't know that. Oh, friends could leave, who could do things to you, and you move on with your life even after those things have been done to you. Now, then that when you step outside, how do you make aligned decisions? How do you make decisions in such a way that doesn't affect R, but it still gets things done? So how do you also understand that your life is a round calculation of all of the decisions that you would ever make? The reason why you are where you are is because of a decision you probably made years back, is because of a particular mindset, because of what you have done to push yourself forward to a particular level of your life. You need to realize these things. They don't teach you in school. Fourth, how do you grow sustainably? Do you ever feel like, oh, maybe you've grown this year, then next year you don't feel like you're really growing like that? Probably stop doing something. Like, how do you build that level of steadiness, that level of consistency? Because in school, you learn to do things leap by leap. Oh, first term, second term, third term, SS1, you're done. First semester, second semester, you're done. Like, you're back home, you're living your life, you have holidays, you're resting, and if you have work, you work. For example, I did school and did work together. I did together. So you need to understand that you have to be like consistent, and it takes time to even learn how to be consistent on one thing. And this is the most important one: your purpose, your vision. Don't your message that is for. Oh God, I don't want to, but like they won't tell you this. Nobody will come and tell you, oh, this is who you're supposed to be in life. This is what I envision towards you. Teachers might not even be allowed to do that based on the school's curriculum and policies and whatnot. But these are things that you ask yourself from. These are questions that you eventually have. But these questions are not answered to school. Okay? Now, things that school never taught me, but I learned how to do when I left. And this was from when I left secondary school. So now immediately I finished secondary school, my first working experience was to serve as an intern in a media house that was not so far from my house, thank God. And because God knows if the distance was probably farther, I don't know. But I'm just happy. Like, it was really close to my house, and I was just, walk here, walk there. And I started working. I was very excited to work. So my first experience there, I wrote sales copies, I created animations, created video animations. I would have never imagined that I would designing cartoon and people walking. But I did so many things. I worked, I learned marketing. Like, whenever they're doing something, I will be there. I will be there. I'm active. I wasn't being paid, but I was very passionate about what I was doing. And that was one of the major things that pushed me, because I mean, I'm not working. I know when to wake up. I know when to leave the house. I know that I may not be earning money now, but I plan to actually use that skill to make money. So I'm very serious. I'm very invested, because I really do want to make money from it. Okay? So now, a case study is that your degrees automatically don't translate to income. If you have finished school here, please like just drop something in the chat and let me know if you're actually using what you studied in school to make money. Because I am not using, but I use in school to make money. Exactly. I'm using a mix of all I have learned in life to make my money right now, because it's not a specific thing that I learned in school that I'm using to earn at the moment. The other skills that I picked, other things that I subjected myself to learning, and I feel like life is really about that. What is often missing is don't teach you how money flows. It was after I came out of school that I learned that money flows when you have something to give. It's transactional for a reason. I'm offering a service, or I'm doing, even if it's not a service, I'm doing something for you. I'm doing something to make your life easy, and you're giving me money in return. And I've also learned that money is not even the only way to appreciate someone. Money cannot Money is not the only value you can get. But some of you are so tied to money. They don't give you money like this. You feel like, what it is not good. Not don't realize that there's so many more things you can ask of. There's so many people who can serve as springboards for you. Because you know this person, this door can open. But you need to actually open your eyes and see and think. Did you know that one of the things I love the most about God and his character trait is the fact that if something doesn't can create, that's how it needs to be. You need to think that if even if this thing is not happening right now, I want it to happen right now, and I will work towards it happening. I will position myself for it to happen. The ways people see problems in Nigeria and try to create ways to solve those problems. That's how it works. So please, even if what I'm saying is not on my slide, just pick it from there. Because if you don't see a problem somewhere, you'll never see a solution. Some people are so problem oriented, they're not solution oriented. Like you see a problem, hey, there's a problem. Okay, there's a problem. Oh yeah, what is the potential solution to that problem? Can you also think of that? Like with the same energy you're using to think of the problem, can you use that same energy think of the solution? Because trust me, it requires the same energy to think of the problem and to think of a solution. It has the same energy from you. So the difference between income, profit, and wealth. We don't know that. Income is what you earn. Income is how much they pay you for doing like a salary earning job. Income is what they pay. You have a monthly income, you have a yearly income, net profit, gross profit, all of that calculation. You also have profit is obviously what you earn, like what is yours, aside from all the other bills, taxes that you pay. You know what's yours, moving on from there. Then you don't know how to price your skills. And how to price your skills comes from experience. So if you're thinking, oh, pricing, depends on number one, how well you know what you're doing, how well you're so sure of your skill. Like get to a point you understand that you know your job so well, you can do it in sleep. That's when you actually increase pricing. Your pricing should increase as you grow. In your starting period, offer your service, what you can, because you want to do it, because you want to learn, because you know you're inquisitive, you want to hit this on the head, you're really happy about this. But at some point, charge your money, Jerry. At some point, give it. And another important thing that I'll tell you, seriously now, based on mathematics, charge based on all of the costs that things that it will cost you to offer that service. Take it out of that money and look at what's remaining. That profit is not reasonable. Add more to it because, to be honest, when you charge some money, later realize that the money is not enough for you. They're not. Not. Isn't that Caribbean meme? It's not where's the money. You have used the money to offer the service, then there's no money for you. You can't do anything after. You cannot even stretch your leg. You cannot buy juice. You cannot do anything with your money because you've on offering the service. No service should ever be offered like that. Charge what you know not for you to take care of yourself, even after you have offered. Then next is how to negotiate your work. Do not settle for what you know you never accept. I posted this thing yesterday on my WhatsApp status. I was in transit and I was really pained when I remember how some people put themselves in some situations that they really do not deserve just because they want to look like they are meek. Because you want to look like you're not a proud person and you want to like stand for your no, always stand your ground. Be that person that has always stood your ground from the beginning. Don't put yourself less. Because if you see yourself less rather, you will continue to act less. But if you see yourself as an adult, as somebody who is good, when you begin to say those things to yourself, your how do I explain? Your inner self would reveal your flaws to yourself. This thing is highly practical. I beg of you to practice it. That's when you understand. If you say to yourself that, oh, the I hear me, I'm very excellent at what I do. The moment I make a mistake, the way my conscience will bang me like this, next time I will know not to make that mistake because I really do want to be as I say I am. I really excellent. So when you say something about yourself, be sure that your work is also, in line, is also on the head, just as your speech. Don't be the person that will talk and then you let there be results and let people be able to trace the things that you have done before. Okay. Now always think like a contributor and not a candidate. Don't think of, oh, because I'm here, oh, I'm just here, I'm just sat, happy to be here to meet you guys. No. Really, you get somewhere, if you see a problem, tell them, oh, this is what I have noticed, and this is what I think will solve it. Don't just say this is what I have noticed, but you're not okay, you noticed it, and so what can we do about that thing you have noticed? Be a contributor on your role. If you're giving any task to do it like you only have one day to do it. And do it really, really well. That's how people will come back to you. If you're starting a business, that's the way you also have recurring clients because people will come back because you're so good at that service. They don't want another person to but you. Okay? That's another thing they need to keep in mind. Now, what this says about your career is that career only thrives when you understand that money follows value. Money does not follow like work from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. If your value is not gain, nobody will book you. Nobody would if you're not loud. Do you know that many people are not experienced, but they are very loud. They wake up in the morning like this, they're talking about their business. They wake up in the afternoon, they're talking about their business. Anytime they wake up, they are talking about their business. That's how you also understand that, can be serious about even rubbish and they will still get booked because they're the ones making the most noise and you that know your thing, but you're not talking about it. Doesn't work that way. That does not reward that. So now the career shift, what moved me from qualification to value? Number one, the marketplace will not ask you, oh, what did you study? It's good to put it in your CV, but darling, that's not what they're gonna hire you for. They're not just gonna hire you for the grammar. Even if you look through your CV, resume, cover letter, there are three major things that should be there. This is number two. Three major things that should be there. Number one, what problem can you solve? Number two, what do you help? Or in work terms, who have you worked for? What companies have you worked for? Number three, what result did you give them? What did they gain from you working? Three major things that you should always ask yourself is what problem can I solve? Can I help? And when I help, what results are they expecting to use? Do you understand that? Let me know if that makes sense. And if this has ever happened to you that you had to really ask yourself. Because if you have not truly asked yourself this question, I don't think. Now, school versus life, two different. School will reward you for your correct answers. If you get the answer, excellent. Get the answer, and you continue like that, head girl. Honestly, that's the process. That's how it is. But life will reward you because of your results, because of your outcomes, because of the things you have done, because of the people that you have helped, things like that. That's how life rewards you. Okay. Now, a thriving career would require you to be able to translate your skill to value. You need to not just have the skill, but you need to know how to it. Okay. Now, you need to be adaptable. You need to understand that, oh, this is what I'm doing right now. But tomorrow, I can also pack on 10 more things and not make myself slack at that one thing that I am known. You can be known for one thing now, but behind you're learning about two more skills because you want to use them as an add-on for that skill or to increase your service in that. Now, another thing is you need to be curious beyond your degree. Like I said, I asked myself a lot of questions. If you're thinking, oh, because for example, I studied mass communication. Right now, my work ranges from marketing, communications, and public relations. Communication is in the middle. Mass communication was not what made me choose that career. I had already started my career before I got into school. It took a long time before I got into school. I didn't beat myself up. I kept building my career because I will not say, oh, because parents have a calendar for you. Oh, you go to school, get married, birth, become a CEO, start pasting money, different things that every parent has in mind for their. But I did not just want to be the regular child. I took life as life came with different things. I made sure that it's uncomfortable, but I just moved. I moved on with what how things are, how things. I just moved like that. So I did not just stop at one place because it was not comfortable. Go through uncomfortable situations, but that's not where you should stop. It really doesn't mean you should stop there. Okay. Now, you need to also be willing to learn after graduation, secondary graduation, university graduation. That's not where your life ends. That's actually where to learn to be consistent, willing, curious beyond that. Now, school will not teach you boundaries. And this is another major thing that school will not teach you. School will teach you boundaries. School will teach you how to say no without guilt. At some point in my life, I was feeling really guilty when I tell people, wow, no, I'm sorry, I can't offer this service because of this. I can't offer this because of this. I can't do this. I always felt really bad. Maybe I'm doing something bad by telling them no. Maybe I'm leaving money on the table. But you need to learn to say no without guilt. You need to learn to protect time. Nobody should waste your time. And protecting your time all round at work, at home, your relationship, your talking stages. Esther said something on the Telegram channel. She said, the only thing I have not touched is relationship. But it's like, I'll touch it small. Just touch it small. Because some of you really waste precious time. You're talking for 4 months. Why? What? Why? You waste a lot of time. Don't be too available. The time you're spending doing some extra stuff that you really do know is a waste of time. Spend it doing something else, something reasonable, something solid, things like that. Don't want to waste your time because as you grow older, you realize that you don't have so much time. You don't have so much time, and it really starts by how you spend your 1 hour, your hours, your 4 hours before you get to your entire 24 hours. You can't stick to doing something for 2 hours. How do you want to live a balanced 24 hours? And some of you even do these things to affect your sleep, not knowing that this thing is it's a part of your life. Sleep is a part of your life. To always make time for that as well. So by the time you know how to protect your time, understand that you need to protect your health, your mind, things you see, the things you watch, things you expose yourself to, the things you read, places you go to. You protect your energy, your body. Your body is a temple. Male, female, your body is a temple. You need to take good care of it. Don't let people speak to you anyhow. Don't let people touch you in a way that you don't like. Nobody can come around me and grab me like this. No way. It has never happened and it would never happen because I do not position myself as someone you can grab like that. If you are not comfortable with something, say you're not comfortable with it and say it in a very peaceful way. Oh, I would like to communicate to you that I do not like this thing. And moving forward, if it ever happens, I will not tolerate it. If they understand, they do, but if they don't, you stood your ground. And trust me, it is better to communicate it than go back to your house and be yourself, I didn't like this thing, I didn't like this thing. You could have stopped it. Don't nag about something if you can stop it. If you can make something work, make it work from the scratch, okay? So no one teaches you all of this. But then when you like put all these things in your career, then you might be living a normal life, like, oh, normal life until you build a business and realize that you need to start telling people, to tell your employees that they can't treat your business like this. To tell people that, oh, I'm sorry, like you can't do this. So sometimes you might be living your life normally, but when you start building a business, you understand that this is actually real. This is serious right now. So you need to understand that your career will collapse when you start overgiving, pay someone too much, you don't have a defined structure, your business will collapse. People do say that you rise and fall to the level of your systems and structures. It's true. Systems and structures around your life, around your business, around your career, around everything. You don't rest. You I say it all the time. Before I start my day, I eat. Before I start my day, I make sure that I fuel my body. And I'm very athletic. Go to my Instagram. I go to the gym. I play tennis. There's a sports event in Lagos or outside of Lagos. So I'm able to travel. I'll travel for that event. I love sports. I love to be active. I played about 5 different sports. My parents did not know. When they knew, they were very worried about me because they were like, what do you want to do with your life, girl? But you know, you need to understand that you need to rest. You need to have a structure around your own well-being. You need to understand your body type, to understand your system, to understand that, or maybe if you eat something to disrupt your flow, your body, like, and by flow, I mean your body's flow, like your body's rhythm, stop you from functioning how you should function. And that you don't need that to happen to you. So you don't have to wait till you break down totally before you then learn that, oh, this thing is bad for me. But then it really does take the 2 breakdowns to understand this thing. But when the breakdown happens, learn from it. You shouldn't be having the same breakdown twice. Okay? Except it's uncontrollable. But then you already know what to do as your first aid. This is very important. It's a very important life skill to care for yourself. And then never tie your worth to productivity. We entrepreneurs have this problem. Don't have a busybody day, like you've not done anything. No. I used to find it really hard too. Sometimes I do as well. If I'm not as busy, I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not doing what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do right. Maybe there's something wrong. But no, sometimes just rest. Sometimes just go to the lounge. Sometimes just get a drink outside. Don't drink it in your house. Go outside. And sometimes buy it, take it in, put on Netflix, wash your legs, sleep, rest, get a massage, save for that massage. Particular massage session that I'm saving for right now. It's expensive, but I'm saving for it. And I know in about 2 months, that might be complete. And I'll give myself the premium enjoyment that I deserve. I'm an enjoyment person. I really do love to enjoy life because I feel like I work very hard. You see me work. I look fine, right? I know I'm a very beautiful woman. But then if you see me work, Jesus. So whenever I'm done, I always like to be done and then try to relax, recuperate, because I know that I burn a lot of energy trying to make it work. Because these things are really important. I have to give them my best, okay? Now, boundaries are not arrogance. They're things that sustain you. That's a liner I want you to walk home with. Don't, people will say, if she's saying this, she's arrogant. Many people are calling me proud. So many people call me proud. Like, yeah, I'd rather be called proud than be called the girl that doesn't take care of herself or the girl that allows anybody to talk down. I'd rather be called, please call me proud. I love it. And sometimes when people say those things about you, you're doing something right because you have a different perception of what something means versus what you're doing. So you need to understand that boundaries are a very important part of your life and you should not. Boundaries are a career skill, non-negotiable career skill. Now, they will not ask you this in your CV, how to build boundaries. But even within your workplace, when your employer is telling you to do something by 8 p.m., 11 p.m., why is your employer messaging you by 11 p.m.? Why can't you tell your employer that, oh, I'm sorry, this is out of work time? Why? Why are you waking up by 7 to do something when you should start by 10? And now I need to understand that the problem is not waking up by 7. The problem is waking up by 7 under compulsion to work for a certain hour. Now, if you're here, you're looking for a job or you have a job or you want to get a job, the working hours should be your working hours. If you work for an extra time, maybe an hour before or an hour after or 2 hours after, depends on what you're doing. Now, and depends on your role as well. If you're taking on a leadership role, my dear, you can work by 3 a.m. because your role demands that from you. And your role demands anything that you need to do to get that job done. Because honestly, leadership roles are really tough. They're really tough. Take your time, they take your energy, all your energy, your brain, mental energy, physical energy, actually give to make something work. That's why when it's done, you need to take back. And what you can take back for yourself is time. Store your own energy. Okay? So boundaries are a career skill. Thriving professionals know when to rest, when to renegotiate, when to walk away. And they don't apologize for it. Because your career is a long-term journey. It's a long-term journey, and these are the skills that keep you in check as you grow. Every single time at every single workplace, you need to tell someone no. You need to renegotiate something, even if it is at least payment, at least when you close. You always need to renegotiate something. And one of the things that you need to know how to do to renegotiate is understanding your own worth, what you are bringing, what you know you have done. Always remind them of it if they seem to be forgetting. And that's how you can renegotiate something to a higher bid. Very important skill, guys. So your career is a long-term journey. I might be doing marketing today, or comms today, or all three today. And tomorrow I feel like I want to do something. I want to be a sports coach. I can. I just need to have the level of qualification I need to get to be a sports coach. Something like that. And some of these things work with age as well. So you really need to put your heart into what you feel like you need to be doing right now to build a life that you want for yourself. But first, you need to have a life design for yourself. To have a life design, what do you want? So you need to understand that with your boundaries in check, you don't burn out. You actually burn bright. It's not burnout now. You're shining because you know when to take a break certain things. Now, another thing school never taught me is the principle of life and truth. And one is that grades reward your compliance. You come to school early, you meeting a particular, teacher's expectations, or there's this thing they call area of concentration. You meeting that, you get your grade as a reward for that compliance. But your life, this life will test your conviction. You'll be tested so much. Your values will be tested. Your principles will be tested. Everything that you have and know will be tested. Even your health will be tested. Everybody will test you. Your patience will be tested. Everything will be tested. But you now need to know how to stand your own ground because school really teaches you how to define your personal values. Like I said, no teacher will come from their table and tell you need to understand that no, just want to get their money and get done and go home. That's how most teachers are these days. Money is not on the table. They're not interested in teaching. Teaching is a passion. Coaching for me, passion. Like I just want people to live their lives that what they're living right now. And I know they are capable of doing it because I have done it. I know it is possible. Nobody told me before I did it. So I know that if I sow that seed in somebody, they will do beyond what I had done and beyond where I'm coming from. So I know for sure that it is possible. So school never teach you anything about your personal value. Decisions under pressure. What decision did you make under pressure? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you made more decisions under pressure now that you're older than back then. But I'm very, very sure. You wouldn't learn how to stand alone without validation. There are sometimes you stand on your own. Nobody's going to defend you. Nobody's going to talk for you on your behalf. You are going to stand by yourself alone. And you need to be comfortable doing that. You need to be comfortable standing on your own, doing something because you know that, yes, this is what I want. And I will fight for the thing. Yeah. So, yes, your career is built or destroyed by your ethics. Because ethics, number one, when I was in, I think it was maybe 200. I studied ethics. for about 2 years. And I was really interested in the ethics of mass communication. People always used to tell me, oh, mass communication is very simple. So I actually studied it. And I just had to choose that course. Never really liked the sound of it. When I actually studied it, ethics is a serious deal, very serious deal. And at this stage of my life, I know how every single thing in an organization should be done because I have been there. I've worked with so many teams. If one person is doing something that they're not supposed to do, I always call them out because I know what is expected for your own role. And in my own company, I design roles for people. So you can't tell me this is not what you ought to do. No, I will tell you this is what you ought to do because I have lived it. So you need to understand ethics of something. You as an individual should have your own ethics. There's some ethics to life, and I really don't want to go into the theory of ethics right now, but there is a particular thing that we do prioritize, and even in religion is prioritized as well, and it's that you treat yourself or you treat other people rather the way you treat yourself. That's a that's like the number one rule of law in ethics, personal. So how you treat yourself should be a reflection of how you treat people. And to be honest, you majorly treat people how you treat yourself. It's like it's really just a life practice thing. Then your career will definitely be destroyed by it. But consistency. You start something today, you don't give it some time before you stop. You say, it's not for me. I tried it, it's not for me. How do you know it's not for you? There's a reason why businesses, they say if your business is not up to 5 years. So many times I wanted to give up on my business. So many times I wanted to give up because I was tired. Like, what is this? But I've not, today I've not given up. Oh, I have not. I'm still running it. So many times you be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do that. You have to continue for a period of time before you then say, this thing is not good. I actually tried and then get back. Give yourself like 5 years. You're running like a business, like a business venture, like money is involved, values involved. But if it's a hobby, you're free to change your hobbies. Feel free to change your hobby. But right here, we're talking about creating. So you need to be sure that you're not just being like a disco about your life and things that you ought to, really, really take seriously. You understand that? Now, trust yourself. Can you trust? Do you trust people? Trust as well. And how are you building relationships with people in such a way that it then leads to trust? And by trust, you can do business with them. You can exchange some money. Do you have people you can trust with your money? Do you have people you can trust with? It's important to you. You trust by building relationships with people, by spending time, asking questions, giving it time, giving them time to display whatever have in their head. Give them time. But when you now give them time to display it, what do you fall back on to put yourself back? Boundaries. That's what you fall back on. It's a very core part of your life. It's a very core part of your life. Now, alignment. Even if have 4 different career paths, there should be one line connecting everything. There should be one line that should connect everything. That way, you never ever feel like you're losing the sense of your purpose. That's one of the things that really helped me. I can do like 5 different things. Like I do about 4 different, I have like 4 different career paths. I have marketing, I have PR, I have comms, I have coaching. So 4 major that I announce. One thing that connects the 4 together, that stands between them like this and holds them all together, is the fact that lives will change, things will change. It's not possible that I'll be there and something will change. It's not possible. It has never happened. Something is always changing, and it's always changing for good. So that's like one thing that ties every single thing. And you do that because you don't ever want to feel lost. So it really, really helps you to tie the whole thing. And honestly, when you also do that, there's anything that is off, there's anything that is shaky, you then know that you need to remove. Then that's the thing that's confusing. And that way you maintain a clearer path. So a thriving career sits on a foundation of truth. This is what you can do. This is what you will do. This is what this costs. who are honest about it. Even if they go outside and ask, oh, what has this girl done? You know what the girl has done before. So you need to not just do things because it's trendy. What is your own truth? What is truth? What do you know that you're so passionate about that even in 10 years you're still passionate about that thing? It might be as lit, it might be me. For me, it started by expressing myself too. And I realized on the way that I'm actually a very wise person and I can do something around my wisdom. I can do something around my experience. And I grew with that. It was just as simple as that. I grew with that until it now began to form into, it started becoming reasonable. And then I, from there. It might be as little as, liking pollution around you. It might be as little as you being fascinated about how some technology system works. Little things like that, but you just need to give them time and be consistent at those things. Now, your principles will always outlast opportunities because some opportunities are really, really time bound, but your principles are forever. So when you know what you stand for, what you will never compromise, and what success means to you, you will stop chasing everything. You will start building and focusing on something that is only meaningful to you. I say this all the time that you should always set your success metric. If you say, the essence of my success is if I now begin to act like sit and the choir. My dear, wait for 30 years, you are not yet like Vusi. Because it's not the same experience you have that Vusi had. It's not what made Vusi that will make you. There are different things that will make you. And that's what you need to focus on. Focus on your own path and stop eyeing another person's on. What goodness can come out of you? That's what you should ask yourself. Set your own metric. Success for me means a totally different thing from every single person I have had a topic of success about. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I feel so proud of what I do. I make things change. I do so much good, both to myself, both to people around me. I love my neighbor. I love myself. I live a life of peace. I live a life of truth. I live a life of boundaries. If I don't have enough money for something, I'm content. I try to make what I have work. I'm my path, successful in my career. My track records are pure. My track records are traceable. I have no stain on my name. I have a very good name. Anywhere you call my name. Chef's kiss. I'm successful. That's my success metric. That's what I have done. That's what I'm still doing. And that's what I'm moving with. You understand what I'm saying? Don't compare yourself to someone so bad that you forget to see what's right in front of you. And you don't appreciate it. Don't live by that. Terrible something that you should never do. Next is, school will not teach you how to deal with your emotions. As a matter of fact, school will make you so emotional to the point that I hate everybody. Honestly, so it's really, really, really something that you just need to have in your mind, that you need to know how to manage your emotions, because if you don't manage your emotions, you sabotage your career, you sabotage your path. So many other things that you need to learn about your emotions is how to regulate it, how to be aware, how to build resilience, and that's the willpower to keep going even when something is tough. Emotional intelligence, making sure that something is said in a way that will not hurt another person listening to you. Know how to put your words together in a way that what you want is communicated, but at the same time, you're not hurting anybody's emotion. And nobody will really tell you how to do it in school, but you really need to learn it outside from experience. Handling rejection. The fact that somebody rejects you doesn't mean that you're a bad person and you have no future ahead of you. Just build more value for yourself. Yeah, capital. It's money. Because it will give you more money when you're emotionally mature. I can ask you a question now, and you totally cut off guard. You're off what I want you to be on. Because you're not giving me the vibe I want you to give me. You see feedback without crumbling. Very, very great career skill. Learn to receive tough feedback. You can cry in your room, but when you are there, don't think too much about it. Receive the feedback, give a response, ask questions, recover from your setbacks without quitting. Even if you go through something, you go through a great loss, something has put you down, like, or maybe you're not feeling the vibe of moving on right now, try to get up again. Separate your identity from your outcomes, because this is one thing that will help you come out of failure very, very easily. The result of something that failed is not who you are. It's not you. It's just a result of what you did. It's what you did. So do the right thing. Okay? Now, a thriving career does not translate to money, titles, how much people know you. It's really, really your alignment, your personal alignment, growth that you have seen with yourself, and then same growth that you can push outside. Because change starts from within and then it comes outside. Then your impact, peace that you feel. Oh my darling, this is so important. The peace you feel, how sustainable you are with what you have right now. How sustainable? How sustainable is how sustainable are your skills? Because you really have more than one. It's not. It's not about the money. It's how everything comes together. It's how everything is translated. So this is actually the definition of a thriving career. Understood. Now, school will not teach you how to your purpose and profit, work and rest, ambition and inner health. That health is so important. But when you move it to the things you learn for yourself about building your career, you see that it is all of this definition on my right. It is all of that, okay? Now, your responsibility from here, things you need to start doing for yourself. Understand that school gives you a very good foundation. Yes, school gives you a very solid foundation. And moving on, your life is your responsibility. You are in charge of your life right now. Your growth now depends on things you teach yourself, your self-education, your reflection. The kind of mentorship you are getting, who is teaching you? Who are you looking at? Who are you learning from? What inner work are you doing? You trying to teach somebody how to be better when you don't have any track record of yourself or for yourself? I'm trying to do something, and I need to say this as well, so you wouldn't mistake it as you can't start from anywhere. You can't start from anywhere. Fail, but don't fail on people. Fail to learn. Fail on something you can risk on. Don't fail and let people down. Not good. That is being selfish. Fail on something that you can risk it on. If it's easy to practice, yes, but don't then get a job, say you can do it, and then don't do it. Become a liar like that. Okay? So you do the work in yourself. When you know for sure that you're taking outside, take it outside. Then the courage to unlearn and always relearn, because all your life you will learn, you'll learn. Keep doing it again, again. You will learn how to do things in a very much better way than you did them the last time. Now, to close this, your reflection should be, and the questions you should always ask yourself should be, number one, who am I becoming? It should be, what decisions can guide your values? How are you building skills? How do you manage your emotions? How are you building your career? How do you remember your goal? And this is where I'm going to end. And this is where I will allow you to ask questions. Because if you skip all of those things, what are you becoming, what values, emotions, your career, your goal, skipping the most important thing. So when you begin to ask yourself these things forward, regardless of whatever stage you are in at the moment, get so much more value in yourself and so much that you can dish out in such a way that you don't just thrive as an individual, that you thrive as a business. And when you thrive, there's so many people coming behind you that thrive as well because they're following your. And you don't just want to deep everything because you did not get it right. Just get it right so that every other thing can align that. Okay, and this is where I'll begin to take questions. Gracias.
Wow, I think a balanced diet already. I just want to say thank you. You've served us hot, and we'll just take one question for the sake of time, and also because our second speaker is
Okay.
waiting. So Emmanuel is raising his hand.
Okay.
Emmanuel, you can unmute your mic to ask your question.
Hello. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for this privilege. I really appreciate the speaker herself. I think her name is Ifine, right? Okay. I really appreciate her. It's a
No, our
wonderful
name is
section.
Coach Yemi.
Okay, Coach Yemi.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much, Ma. I really appreciate you. It's a wonderful time being. And also I want to thank the convener too. Always top notch, top notch. Thank you so much. Okay, a very quick one. The question goes like this. In terms of facing, I don't know your background. I don't know where you came from and how life has how you have dealt with life. But I want to ask in a situation whereby, in all of these principles you just mentioned, to me, I see it more like this is our principles of wealth making. Yeah, it's not money making. We're talking about wealth making because you talked so much, starting from the mindset, starting from the health, starting from a whole lot. You said a whole lot, and these things cannot be put together one day. It has to be on a gradual process. So, in terms of someone coming from, okay, like in a scenario where he find himself that and all of these things, but yet is striving, is trying to I don't know whether you get the question. Is trying to strive to get money, and in another aspect is also trying to become wants to be. At that scenario, what advice can you give that kind of person in terms of he is like on his own trying to make money and maybe the money is not forthcoming and is also trying to work on himself, like these principles being outlined there, he's trying to also work on himself. But there's some situation that when it arises that you will want to, of course, you want to give up. You understand? This life we are talking about, everyone has a stage in your life where you want to give up. And so in terms of all of these things, when someone is fighting assistance from anybody, is fighting through by himself. I've had scenarios of that. Someone is trying to fight through by himself, and yet he is trying to scale through and trying to become. So what advice would you want to
All
give the
right,
person?
Emmanuel. I get your question so well. This is what I would say. First, is becoming is continual process. Becoming is something that you would always do. You wouldn't just, wake up and then everything that you wanted to be, that you always wanted to be. So you would always be on that journey to becoming. Now, while you need to first understand that that's a journey, I need you to also know that it requires patience, requires honesty with yourself, requires contentment, and it requires you to always and always be hopeful. Now, I have been through situations whereby I didn't have money. Like when I explained that I started my first job like after I finished, and I needed money so bad, but I didn't have money. I didn't have money to do anything. But I stayed on the journey. I stayed on the path. I had the little that I'm having right now. This is what I can use to do. So if this is a personal question, Emmanuel, I'll answer it like I'm talking to you. Learn things that you know can. A simple skill such as social media management. Esther has a social media management course. A simple skill like that, simple skill like in something like that can really use some money. So when you have skills that you can use to make money, shoot your shot, apply for things, work for people, earn how much you can earn from that skill, grow from it, and then you keep growing. So you see those principles of consistency, boundaries, those things that you said that are skills for building wealth. Yes, they are skills for building wealth because wealth is not built in a day. Wealth is not built without all of these things. You need all of these things to actually build wealth. And it starts from the little money that you're earning, how you can move from there before you then get to wealth. You don't get to wealth in it. Skip any of these processes, you will most likely never touch wealth. But if you're able to actually like sit with yourself, give yourself time, be consistent with what you're doing. Trust me, it will definitely get you halfway. So it really takes time, believe in the journey, and be sure that you're actually providing value in that area and that you can do that consistently. So yeah, that's gonna be my answer.
Hey, thank you very, very much. So because of time, we'll be able to take more questions. We have our second speaker waiting, so I am just mindful so that I don't keep. However, I want to say that this has been a fantastic session tonight. If you agree with me, can I see your emojis? Can you just appreciate and celebrate our speaker? It's been awesome. I mean, the flow, the way she delivered everything. I learned so much that I'm going to implement. And I just want to say thank you for this session. And I believe that it's something that has transformed and helped a lot of us. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And if anyone has any more questions, you can just ask in the chat or just
Okay.
send